This is another chapter of fourth module, logistics outsourcing. So till now in fourth module, we have already seen chapter number 13, that is logistical information system, LIS. Then modern logistics infrastructure, that also we have covered. Next is logistics outsourcing. Outsourcing is a term which you all know it because it's a very common term nowadays. Business process outsourcing or BPO, call centers, these things are all what you know. But now let's see what is the meaning of outsourcing over here. Moving ahead, you can see these are the contents to be covered over here: meaning, objectives, benefits, and all. So what is the meaning of outsourcing? Outsourcing can be defined as contracting of one or more of company's business processes or activities to outside service providers in order to reduce the overall operating cost and focusing on core competencies. It means when we are giving some of our work to an outsider, to an outside service provider, and they are doing that work on behalf of us. That is outsourcing. It can also be defined as transferring the repetitive means जो regular basis में होते हैं, repetitive and non-critical activities or non-core activities बोलते हैं. Non-core activities means these are not the core activities, but at the same time these are required for the functioning of the organization. So outsourcing means transferring the repetitive and non-critical activities to outside parties so that we can focus more on the core competent functions. The primary objective of outsourcing is to reduce the overall operating cost and focus on core competencies. Means the main objective why the particular company is set up for maximum utilization of available resources of the organization. I'll give you an example. In an educational institution, for example, take the example our college itself, where which is the core activity. The core activity of our college is to provide education. Here, our security is outsourced. Security service is outsourced. Or take an example of any hospital. The core activity will be to provide medical services, and their housekeeping can be outsourced. Again, security works can be outsourced because these are all repetitive activities, but that is not the core activity of these organizations. They are required, but non-core activities. So such non-core activities can be outsourced. Now, why do organizations outsource their business? It is because lack of expert labor in some portion of the business process, or you will be getting better service from an outsider. Within the company, you might be not having good knowledge about this particular area. Then, availability of cheap labor outside without compromising on the quality of output. Availability or ability and feasibility to concentrate on the other crucial business processes. When we are outsourcing, it means remaining activities, important activities, we can concentrate. Objectives, again, it's almost similar. Some of the common objectives are helping in reducing and controlling the operating cost. One thing which we have to see that the expense which we are incurring for outsourcing, that should not be very huge. And ऐसे situation नहीं होना चाहिए कि अगर हम लोग अंदर internally करेंगे तो इससे कम हो जाते हैं खर्चा. That should not be like that. When we are outsourcing, the expenses should be, we are doing it with the motive of reducing our cost. Then we can focus on core competent functions by outsourcing non-critical activities. Mainly the security service, housekeeping. Housekeeping means ये जो cleanliness, hygiene वगैरह ये से वैसे चीजें outsource करते हैं. Then it will help to improve the company's focus, gaining access to world-class capabilities, freeing internal resources for other purpose. The resources which are there within the organization can be used for any other purpose. Then streamlining or increasing efficiency. Streamlining means bringing activities together. Maximizing use of external resources available. Sharing the risk with a partner company. When we are outsourcing means some amount of risk is also being transferred to the other company. reducing major investment and avoiding financial risk, improving flexibility in functions, improving financial ratios, enhance market credibility, improve overall operating performance. So in one sense, we can say that outsourcing is actually bringing so much benefit for the organization if it is outsourced to the right service provider. Now, when we talk about India, in India, we can see that this outsourcing is growing at a very large extent. We can see so many such call centers. We call it commonly we call it as call centers, isn't it? These are all outsourcing activities, and India is considered, or India is preferred to be a very, very important location or a very important destination for outsourcing by many of the foreign companies. Because in India, the youth population is huge, youngsters population is huge, plus majority of the youngsters are educated, plus they have good communication skills. After giving training, it is easy to mold up these people. So outsourcing is one area with where India is gaining a lot. Now, benefits or advantages of outsourcing. Most of the time, we can see that the first point is swiftness and expertise. Swiftness means very fast, quickly. Most of the time, the tasks which are outsourced, it is given to vendors or the people who are specialized in their field. And they will be having their required equipments, their technical expertise and all to do the work in an effective manner or in a faster manner with better quality output. Rather than we sit and depend on internal resources without lack of expertise, it is better to give that work to outsiders who are having good knowledge about these activities. Then, same points repeating, concentrating on core processes rather than the supporting ones. Just imagine an educational institution, rather than conducting activities related to education, just imagine they are focusing more on the housekeeping, more on the security services, more on the canteen and all. These are all supporting activities only. The prime activity or the core activity of the organization should be taken into consideration. That is why using outsourcing, we can concentrate on core process. So companies outsource also in order to eliminate distractions and force themselves to concentrate on their core competencies. Then, reduced operational and recruitment cost. Outsourcing eliminates the need to hire individuals in-house. Hence, recruitment and operational cost can be controlled or minimized to a great extent. This is one very important advantage. Now, the security service which is working in our college, take the example. It is something MSM, something like that. MSS, something like that. Mission Security Services. It's something like that. The name of that agency. Now, instead of we people hiring security people in the company, in the college, we have just outsourced it. Now, what happens? We need not bother about the security part. Now, it is their responsibility. It is a transferred responsibility on them to look after the security part. Then, risk sharing, same point. When we are shifting certain responsibilities, now it is also the responsibility of that third party. Okay, thereby reducing the risk of our company. So certain responsibilities now, it is up to them that they do the work properly, because now it is their responsibility. Staffing level. Another common reason for outsourcing is to achieve headcount reduction or minimize the fluctuations in staffing that may occur due to changes in demand for a product or service. Sometimes what happens is that depending on the demand for the product or the service, we will have to manage the employees. So companies also outsource in order to reduce the workload on the employees or to provide more development opportunities for the employees by freeing them from the tedious task. So some routine activities like this can be shared by outsiders or can be given to the outsiders so that the people inside can focus on their career development as well as more important activities for the company. Then it also helps in saving infrastructure and technology. Outsourcing eliminates the need for investment in infrastructure, as the outsourcing partner has to now take the responsibility of the business process. They have to develop the infrastructure for the same. Take an example, a company, an organization which is giving outsourcing activity to a company in India. Now, Arrangement of the computers, arrangement of the people, arrangement of the infrastructure, and all are now the responsibility of this company, which has got this outsourcing contract. The main company has given everything, all work related to this outsourcing company. So it is them who have to arrange all the infrastructure and technology. So the parent company, the main company, can save on infrastructure and technology. Then definitely increasing in-house efficiency, because major tasks can be allotted between the employees and the outsourced partner. This will help to increase the efficiency of internal employees. Then running the business 24/7. That is why most of the call center jobs, we can see that night shifts and all are there, especially in our country. Offshore outsourcing to a country like India, which is on a different time zone. Time zone, I hope you all of you know the time zone meaning. So this gives you the advantage of having or making full use of 24-hour day. When we work in the morning, it will be night time over there. And when it is daytime here, it will be night, but it can be adjusted. And it can be like they can take full advantage of the time zone and make the employees available throughout 24/7. So since our night is their day, outsourcing partner can take over and continue the work even when the employees are going home. And whatever tasks are pending, it can be completed on time. Then improve service and definitely delight the customers. Ultimately, we can say that outsourcing will help to improve the quality of the product, quality of the services, and it will also bring in customer satisfaction for the company. So outsourcing means we are sharing, or we can say to an extent we are delegating some of our responsibilities which are of non-core activities to an outsider, which are non-core, which are non-critical. Okay, then how this is relevant in logistics? That is the next question. Now here you have to learn about third-party logistics service provider and fourth-party logistics service provider. It's very easy to understand. Third party को बोलते हैं 3PL. 3PL means third party logistic service. So what is a third party and what is a fourth party? A third party logistic service provider is a firm that provides specialized services to the customers. They provide various logistical services like transportation, warehousing, etc. And they will have their own infrastructure facility of their functional areas. And like, for example, transportation service provider will have all their fleet, vehicles, everything. Warehousing service provider will have their own warehouses and all. And they perform the work which is entrusted by the customers. They can focus on one or more functions. Then they specialize in their own functional area. And they focus on implementing and execution of the activities. Here you can see 3PL. For example, a company is there, it's a small company. They don't have all the resources with them, so they can arrange for transporting their goods from one place to another using this 3PL service. That is, they can outsource their transportation activities to a 3PL service provider. Or it's a company, but they need the help of a warehouse, but they don't want to have their own warehouse. They can take the help of a third-party service provider. Packing, for example, another thing, packing work, they can give it to a third-party service provider. So almost all the logistical activities can be outsourced. That is third party. So different types are also there. Standard service provider, it performs all the basic activities such as packing, picking, packing, warehousing, distribution, etc. Service developer, like they also provide value-added service such as tracking the product, tracing the product, specific packaging, cross-docking, etc. Customer adapter is working exactly as per the requirement of the customer. And when the customer is requesting to take over all the logistical activities, that is also done. Then same way, customer developer, this is the highest level. When the 3PL service provider is integrating means coming together, almost together with the firm, and this also takes up almost all the logistical operations. So third party or 3PL service provider means so it's a firm which will provide specialized logistical services to the customer. And which are the different logistical services? It will include transportation, warehousing, packaging, material handling, cross-dock, whatever, all the sub-activities also which are involved in different functions. Now, advantages are the same thing. We'll just read it and go. Swiftness and expertise, concentrating on core process rather than supporting ones, reducing operating cost, save on infrastructure and technology, increasing in-house efficiency, improve service and delighting customers. Now, then what is this 4PL? This is 3PL. What is 4PL? 4PL is nothing but a service provider, basically a consultancy firm who is acting as a link between the third-party service provider and the one who needs such services. It is just an intermediary. For example, a company wants to take the help of some logistical service provider, but they don't know from whom to approach. So there could be a four-party logistics service provider who is acting as an intermediary. They will be connecting them with that of a 3PL service provider. So this just like a consultancy firm or a agent, we can say, or a broker type in between. They do not own any logistical infrastructure. They are not the actual performer also. They are just arranging. They are just bringing together and assembling such performers. And it also involves all the functions involved in supply chain. It is having a broader approach. It is not limited to any particular area. They will arrange services in almost all the functional areas. So they are focusing on planning and designing of activities. This is basically a supply chain integrator, we can say. Integrator means or an intermediary or a connector that manages the resources, capabilities, and technologies of its own organization with those of a service provider. And what they do, they would gather all the constituent parts required here, like system, transportation, inventory, everything. And they will be connecting it with that of a client with a fully integrated supply chain system. And in return, the client will pay an appropriate fee and they will be concentrating on their own core business. It is also called as a lead logistics provider. So here you can see the picture itself is clear, explaining about it. There will be a client or a company, and the company gets connected to various 3PL service providers with the help of a 4PL consultancy firm. It is just a connector, it's just a link who is bringing all these people together. Like here you can see 3PL service में देखो trucking का service देते, ocean freight देते, air freight देते. Ocean freight means waterway, transportation in the waterway. Air freight means transportation in the air, warehousing, integrated. It's something which brings all the activities together. Again, advantages क्या होता है? They will help in concentrating on core process, reducing the operational cost, save on IT, improve the service and delight the customers, combines the advantages of in and outsourcing. It brings together the advantages of various outsourcing service providers. So here you can see the difference between 3PL and 4PL. 3PL means third party logistics. 4PL means fourth party logistics. So third party logistics service is a firm which provides specialized service to the customers in various functional areas. Fourth party is just a consultancy firm which is acting as a link between the 3PL service provider and a client or a company who needs such services. 3PL have their own infrastructure, 4PL don't have their own logistic infrastructure, and 3PL perform the work which is entrusted to them or which is outsourced to them by the customers. 4PL is not doing any activity. They are just arranging the resources and giving to the client. Here, 3PL focuses on one or more functions. It is having a narrow approach. Either transportation, तो वो transportation related करेंगे. Warehousing है तो warehousing करेंगे. They can take more than one also हो सकते हैं, but still not everything. 4PL is covering every functions. They bring people together for doing all the functions. So it's a broader approach. Then 3PL specializes in their own area. Here, 4PL is not restricted to any functional area. Instead, they arrange for everything. Then 3PL focuses on implementation and execution of the activities. They focus on getting the work done, but 4PL focuses on just planning the activities which is supposed to be done. Now, some disadvantages of outsourcing. Okay, we are saying that outsourcing is quite advantageous. It is quite helpful for the people. We can focus on the core activities. All those advantages, it helps to reduce the cost. All those advantages are there. But at the same time, there are certain challenges as well, or drawbacks, or we can say disadvantages. First one is loss of managerial control. When the company is outsourcing the activities and functions to outsiders, management and control of that particular function is now with the outsiders. We will not be having much control over these aspects now. That means no longer we will be able to control the operation of the activities that which we are outsourcing, because we have already delegated or we have already shared that responsibility with a third party. So that is loss of managerial control. Then hidden cost. There are chances that hidden cost will be there, like legal cost incurred while signing the contract or any other cost which may arise in many cases when these terms and conditions are not properly defined. Then threat to security and confidentiality. Now, very important point this is, because now an outsider is dealing with our company, where they are also sharing our company's responsibilities to an extent. It might be non-core activities, but still they may be having easy access to our company's resources now. So there is the risk of losing sensitive data and loss of confidentiality. So the company which we are giving this outsourcing work, they should be carefully evaluated. Okay. Then quality problems. We are outsourcing this work for improving the quality and all, but since they are already fixing a price when they are entering into the contract and all, it should be very much important to see that the quality of the services delivered are not affected. If they are experienced in this field, sorry, if they are inexperienced in this field, or if they don't have the proper infrastructure, or if they don't have the proper resources for carrying this work properly, then there are chances of low quality being given to the customers. Then now another thing is that if the important functions are outsourced, it means that we are also tied up to the well-being, financial well-being of another company, because we are connected now. So if the outsourced service provider is facing any financial issues, that may affect the performance of our company as well. Then bad publicity or ill will. Due to outsourcing certain activities to the outside service providers, the goodwill of the company may get affected due to the performance of this outsourced service providers. Because if they are not doing the services properly, if they does not perform the activities properly, it may lead to bad publicity and ill will of our company. So what you have to remember is that definitely it is having its own advantages as well as disadvantages, just like two sides of a coin. But if the disadvantages are more, in your case, in each and every case, it will be different. So if the disadvantages are outweighing the advantages, it's better to avoid outsourcing. Now, selection of logistic service provider. Commonly, these are just common guidelines. It may vary from company to company. You have to identify the logistical problem, identify the areas of problem, objectives of outsourcing, search for potential service providers and accept proposals, evaluate the proposals, and then only go for final selection of the service provider. So which problem we are facing first? Do we have problem in transportation or warehousing or whatever it is, that should be identified. Then it should be defined and identified. Then after that, objectives, why it is being undertaken. Then find out the service providers and accept proposals, evaluate the proposals. And while evaluating, we should see that their infrastructure availability, experience, testimonials can be taken, cost. Testimonials means the experience by other people, reliability, all these things should be taken into consideration. Now, outsourcing, how it is helping to create a value for our company. Definitely, it will be helping to reduce the cost and improve the profitability. Then we can reduce the investment on infrastructure in our company. And this investment for infrastructure can be diverted to some other purpose. We will get more time to focus on our core activities. Then once the company is allotting the finding out the outsourcer service provider, and when we are allocating it, there is shared workload in the company. When there is shared workload, it will help to reduce the burden on the internal employees. Then there is also like quite important benefits also. Timely deliveries, high quality services and all from the outsourcing firm if they are quite competent in this area. In such cases, definitely it will help in increasing customer satisfaction and creating a stream of loyal customers also. So if with these values, we can say that outsourcing can be justified. So these, if we consider these points, we can say that to an extent, a company can go for outsourcing rather than wasting investment, or we can say wasting the money on unwanted activities. So this is about logistics outsourcing, where we have seen 3PL and 4PL. Okay, this is a very important chapter.